Hey guys, it's me again, Monday, Labor Day. I believe it's Labor Day or Memorial Day or one of those days. It's Monday, that's a holiday. But it's not a holiday for me. Always working. Today on the One Funnel Away Challenge, Russell and the gang went over publishing, like what I'm doing right here now. So what you need to do is you need to find your voice. You know, find out what you're good at and start publishing. Doesn't matter if you're not good at it. It's just something that you're comfortable with. For example, you may be comfortable with writing. I did a podcast about this a while back too, if you guys want to go back to it on my podcast. But basically, if you're good at writing, then you need to start blogging and go to medium.com to start blogging, one of the bigger platforms for blogs. And it also actually pays you too when you blog. So, you know, as you get an audience and build an audience and build views, it does pay you. So if you're very good at writing, sit down and write every day something and then blog. If you're good at speaking, then you need to want to do a podcast, you know, take interviews, podcast. Again, this is dog walk walking, so this is the other side with the dogs barking. So we're not, you know, just so you know, this is dog walk marketing. Now the dogs are going crazy. I think it's going down from a full moon. So we know that during the full moon, the dogs go crazier than normal. Plus it's a little later in the day, just about a half hour later than I normally go. So normally the dogs are a little bit sleepy, but I guess they woke up today. So I apologize for the noise in the background, but that's the way life goes. You can't always have a perfect podcast, which brings you back to when you are doing your podcast, you're publishing. Just remember that initially people will not watch your stuff. So it's your time to find your voice. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Just do it. Every day, do whatever you decide to do, publish. Because it's just like Russell was talking about how comedians do when they get on stage. You know, when you see them on like Johnny Carson show, well, actually, I'm aging myself, Jay Leno show, or actually even not that, Jimmy Fallon show. I guess he's the one up now. The Jimmy Fallon show. When you see them on the Jimmy Fallon show, you know, all their jokes kill. You know, but initially when they first started out, they were on the small stages, and they're putting joke after joke, and maybe, you know, out of the 10 jokes the very first time on stage, only one, maybe two, you know, actually work. So they tweak it and they build it up. So they build a rapport of their stories that work. And once they have all those stories in line that, you know, they've tested, and that's a term, tested on their audience, then they, you know, go to the big leagues. And that's kind of like what we have to do now. We have to start testing our hooks, our stories, and, you know, our offers will come in as well, as we talked about last week. But basically, this is all about hooks and stories, the publishing week. So what you need to do is you need to start publishing today. Figure out what you want to do. You want to do a podcast. That's someone who doesn't care, I initially started a podcast, the Dog Walk Marketing. That's why I keep recommending it. You know, you don't need to worry about how you look on the podcast. You just talk, and you talk about, if you're good at talking and telling a story, then a podcast is good for you. If you're good at writing, of course, blogging is good for you. Podcast, one that I use is called anchorfm.com. It's a pretty cool one. There's other ones out there, but Anchor FM is good to starting off because it's just real basic. Push a button and you just put it up in the air. So it's a really nice one. And then Medium for blogging. Now, in regards to a video, which is what I'm doing right now, you got YouTube, you got Facebook Live. I haven't done Facebook Live yet, personally. I don't know. I haven't really pursued that. I have to go look into that. But, you know, I might be doing that pretty soon here, taking up some of my videos that I have here that I've made and putting them on Facebook Live. But yeah, Facebook Live is for those people who don't mind being in front of the camera. I don't dress up per se, but, you know, you have to be at least dressed. So that's when you're going to do that. So those are the mediums that you have to start looking at. You have to look at which medium are you comfortable in doing. and then be consistent. If you can't do it every day, do it Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but try to do it every day. Russell mentions that if you do it at least 365 days, or at least be consistent for a year, you will find an audience. The audience will find you, actually. So you don't have to go out there and pursue it. And actually, Stephen talks about how the whole process of publishing and content is where he gets most of his business. Yes, of course he gets business through advertising, but the majority of his business comes through his content. And content is there all the time. That's what's nice about content. So once you do something, it can last a long period of time. So, start publishing. Today is the day to figure out what you want to do and, what you want to publish, or how you want to publish, either podcast, blog, or video, okay? Now, what you need to know is that, I was going back to Stephen, what Stephen was talking about, how the content is king. It's good content is king too. So just try to publish some good stuff. Initially it will be bad, but just remember, no one's watching, no one's listening, no one's reading initially. But once your audience finds you, they'll go back and look at your old stuff. They might laugh a little bit, but you'll find your voice. Russell mentioned that it took 42 podcasts for him to find his voice on his podcast. So, Russell the King, it took 42, and that was after he's already been doing stuff on a podcast. It took him 42. Everyone has a chance to get going on this, and just keep on pushing through. Do not give up. Be consistent. That's mainly the real thing, because every podcaster, every YouTuber, everyone that you talk about who does content and publishing, always say you have to be consistent to be successful. Because once you be consistent, people will see you. They will, see you as a regular person, and they will be able to trust you and be able to rely upon you to do a podcast every day or every other day, or do a video every day, or post every other day, or whatever it is. So, guys, get out there, find your voice, find your platform for your voice, and let's keep on marketing. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and if you're and follow, of course. And of course, if you're on the podcast, give me a good rating. All right? You have a great day, and let's keep on marketing.